Traveling in Switzerland and meeting Swiss people. Visiting Switzerland means getting to know the Swiss people. Wherever you travel in the country, you'll meet them. This video aims to show you what the Swiss are like, how they live and work, so that tourists know exactly what to expect and how to interact with them. This is the best preparation for traveling in Switzerland. On anonymous travel. Anyone who wants to get to know Switzerland must understand that both so-called individual travel and mass tourism are highly valued. The former is something the Swiss do themselves, the latter they tend to leave to visitors. Yet all travelers are warmly welcomed everywhere, and people are supportive of everyone's wish to realize themselves. Visitors are assisted wherever they go and are offered a sense of safety. This openness is something rarely found anywhere else in the world. However, the people who live, work and make their lives here do not simply wish to only serve tourists or fulfill vacation dreams. They want to offer genuine help to those traveling through the country. They see their land, of course, as their own, but they also regard themselves as custodians of a heritage that belongs to all of humanity. Everyone can therefore travel through Switzerland autonomously, independently and without outside help. The risk of being robbed or exploited is extremely low, and everything is designed so that travel and daily life function smoothly and effortlessly. Those with sufficient means can buy whatever their heart desires, but even travelers with modest budgets are treated exactly the same way as those with more to spend. Public order is structured so that everything runs seamlessly. Transportation operates on time. Delays in public transit are almost unheard of, and one truly doesn't need a car to get anywhere. It's enough to have a smartphone to ask artificial intelligence for assistance. Public transport will take you everywhere. Everything is small-scale, refined and within easy reach. Hotels and restaurants can be found throughout the country, and one can easily change locations at any time. The Swiss wish to make it possible for tourists to travel anonymously. Visitors are not disturbed. People merely ask discreetly whether they need help or anything else. This reserve does not stem from a lack of interest, but from a desire to let visitors decide for themselves how and to what extent they wish to engage with the Swiss. Most tourists, in fact, prefer not to interact much. Travel is often tiring, and many appreciate not being constantly approached. The Swiss are considerate of this and leave travelers entirely in peace. At the same time, they are always open and ready to offer advice, directions or friendly conversation whenever problems arise. No question is ever turned away, and everyone is kind and courteous when asked for information. Tourists can therefore be assured that they won't be approached unsolicited, but that they can always ask for help when they wish and will receive it gladly. And if a traveler seeks personal contact beyond practical matters, they will also find an open ear. The Swiss are generally very proud of their small country, and they are happy to engage in conversation whenever someone chooses to speak with them. Early Switzerland. Just 150 years ago, Switzerland was considered the poorhouse of Europe. After the Congress of Vienna in 1815, the country became a plaything of the great European powers, economically weak, strongly agricultural, and marked by political tensions between conservative and liberal cantons. Industrialization began much later here than in other European nations such as England, France or Germany. In many regions there was widespread poverty and at times even famine, especially during the hunger crisis of 1816 and 1817, and again in the 1830s and 1840s. Many Swiss who could afford to leave emigrated, particularly to North America, because they saw no prospects at home. Around 1850, a true wave of emigration to North America began. One must imagine that at that time, countless people had no opportunity to participate in industrial growth or economic development. Poverty was widespread, and all land and property were already owned. America represented great hope, a land of abundance and new beginnings. The hardship and hunger of those years can still be sensed in the national character today. Meals are often simple and modest. People remain content with little and do not seek extravagance. They have learned to make do with what they have and to live frugally. For that same reason, security is often valued even more highly than freedom. Of course, much of this has changed over time, though hidden poverty still exists. When tourists wonder why the Swiss are the way they are today, much can be understood through this history. The Swiss are not stingy, they are thrifty, they are not taciturn or cold, they are considerate and courteous, and they are not shy or withdrawn, they are tolerant and reserved. Travelers can therefore move through Switzerland entirely absorbed in their own thoughts, undisturbed and at peace. How the Swiss see tourists. The openness of ordinary Swiss people can be felt everywhere. As a tourist, however, one must also have the courage to engage with the local population and to seek contact. And when one does, the Swiss open up. The Swiss do not see tourists as strangers. They see them as friends and as an enrichment to their country. Although the average Swiss person has a strong sense of caution and security, foreigners are always welcome. They offer visitors everything they have, and often even more, sometimes things they would not grant themselves. Tourists are therefore in good hands when traveling through Switzerland. This is something one should understand while visiting the country. There is truly nothing about tourists that disturbs the Swiss. The average Swiss person lives within a personal framework of security and freedom, values they would never give up for anything in the world. For this reason, it is important to them to treat visitors correctly and politely. Above all, they see everyone as equal, regardless of origin, age, social class, or status. They regard it as a service to the world to act as caretakers of their homeland on behalf of all humanity, so that everyone may come here to rest, to experience nature, or to seek adventure, whatever their hearts may desire. A tourist can therefore be certain that the Swiss manage their holiday destination in the best possible way, always with international visitors in mind. That is why everything usually runs smoothly and without complaint. And if, on rare occasions, something doesn't work, a train fails to run or a connection is disrupted, replacement buses are quickly and reliably provided to solve the problem. Ethnic diversity in Switzerland. There are few countries on earth today that are as ethnically diverse as Switzerland. In fact, in terms of the origins of its people, Switzerland may well be the most colorful country in the world. Over 50% of the population either do not hold a Swiss passport or have only obtained it within the past few years. This makes Switzerland one of the most open nations globally when it comes to immigration and tourism. Many skilled professionals come from the European Union to work in Switzerland, and a great number of them choose to settle here permanently. As a result, the country's population grows by nearly 150,000 people each year through migration, roughly half from within the European Union and half from all other parts of the world. About 30% of new arrivals come to Switzerland through family reunification programs. All of this means not only that Switzerland is a classic country of immigration, but also that immigrants are genuinely welcome among the Swiss. It is commonly said that people with a migration background experience no disadvantages when dealing with authorities or the general public. The Swiss are equally friendly toward both tourists and immigrants, greeting everyone with warmth and respect. The courtesy and politeness shown toward foreigners are consistent and sincere, and there are no complaints about locals unfairly treating them. Everyone is treated as though they were Swiss themselves. This attitude reflects the open-mindedness of the Swiss, their willingness not only to welcome newcomers, but also to meet them with respect and a sense of human responsibility. The ethnic diversity is especially visible to travelers in the larger cities. There, one finds food stalls and restaurants offering dishes from every corner of the world. Tourists benefit greatly from this, as they can easily find the kind of food they are accustomed to from home. Visitors from distant countries often blend naturally into the urban crowd, thanks to the high degree of ethnic mixing, and can stroll through the city completely unnoticed and at ease. These are advantages rarely found elsewhere in the world. Wherever tourists travel in Switzerland, they are not seen as outsiders. They might as well be locals living around the corner. The way the Swiss relate to one another. Switzerland is not considered one of the world's finest travel destinations merely because of its beautiful mountain landscapes, which, illuminated by their distinctive alpine light, are unlike any other. It is also because of the character of its people, open, sincere and helpful toward all strangers and visitors, and because they take it as a genuine honor when someone needs their assistance and they are able to help. The Swiss also have a deep love for truth and open discussion. Everyone always knows exactly what an issue is about, and so problems can be addressed directly, honestly and successfully. The way the Swiss treat one another is the same way they treat visitors to their country. Openly, directly, truthfully, and with a strong sense of fairness. No one would ever lie, deceive or gloss over the truth out of convenience, ignorance or misplaced pride. It is precisely these fundamentally good qualities that guarantee tourists a safe, pleasant and rewarding stay. When problems arise during travel, they are dealt with directly and openly, and visitors can rely completely on the Swiss. The old sense of honor and readiness to help has never left them. For this reason, there is no need to worry when traveling alone in Switzerland. One can always count on the helpfulness and reliability of its people. This is something every traveler should know. Once you understand it, you can be certain that not only will everything run smoothly, but your stay will become a lasting memory, something to look back on with inner joy for the rest of your life. Anyone spending their holidays in Switzerland can consider the nearly 9 million inhabitants as 9 million potential friends, ready to help should difficulties arise, and that is worth a great deal. When you travel in a foreign country whose language you may not speak and whose customs and traditions are unfamiliar, this is comforting to know. Every school child here speaks English, and you can ask anyone for help if you are lost or uncertain. Everyone is helpful and proud to be of assistance. Yet another sign of the Swiss people's openness to the world. Behavior while traveling through Switzerland. The Swiss love peaceful people, but all kind of other people as well. They never seek conflict, but instead try to mediate when disputes arise, if they cannot simply avoid them altogether. They are by no means of an aggressive nature, rather they deeply value and cherish peace above all else. This is one of the reasons why traveling in Switzerland is so pleasant. Visitors can be confident that they will not encounter violent quarrels or senseless confrontations. The Swiss desire peace, freedom and security not only for themselves, but also for everyone else. When someone behaves aggressively, they do not respond aggressively as well, so as not to fuel the cycle of violence. Instead, they seek to calm the situation and diffuse tensions by responding in a composed and professional manner, helping the other person to let go of fear, anger and hostility. For this reason, tourists can be assured that they will not encounter trouble while traveling through Switzerland. People here are peace-loving and cooperative, guided by a strong moral sense of proper conduct. Even when faced with aggressive or unreasonable behavior, the Swiss remain polite and courteous, using their own good example to lead others back to calm and reason. This is a distinct and deeply ingrained characteristic of the Swiss, reflecting their professionalism in dealing with people, not only with tourists, but with everyone. In Switzerland, people are admired for their ability to stay composed under pressure. A person's reputation depends, to a great extent, on whether they can maintain full control over their emotions at all times. For a Swiss person, it is a matter of pride and honor to remain calm and collected, even in the most challenging situations. This is their sense of dignity, their quiet pride, that no circumstance should ever overwhelm them. One might call it coolness, or simply professionalism and emotional mastery. For travelers, this attitude is always to their advantage. They benefit from this combination of self-control and professionalism throughout their journeys. There are few peoples in the world who are at once so reserved and so self-disciplined as the Swiss. Visitors can be sure that, under all circumstances, they will encounter professionalism, assistance and understanding, even if they themselves are tired, irritable or out of sorts. The Swiss have great empathy for the situation of travelers and offer every form of support. This makes a stay in Switzerland exceptionally pleasant and reassuring. The behavior of tourists traveling in Switzerland. What the Swiss expect of themselves, they do not in any way expect of travelers. They are professional enough to understand that foreign peoples, cultures and ethnic groups are different in the way they think, speak and act, and that everyone has the right to be as their homeland has taught them to be. The Swiss are open-minded toward everyone and everything, and are able to interact with all people in the same respectful way. Their professionalism allows each person to remain exactly as they are. For travelers in Switzerland, there are no expectations regarding character or behavior. Everyone is free to bring along their own culture, their own way of thinking, speaking and acting. This attitude represents a high cultural value and a gesture of genuine hospitality on the part of the Swiss toward all their visitors. The Swiss tradition of hospitality forbids them from imposing rules on their guests. This too is rooted in their deep sense of personal freedom and individuality. In the Swiss view, everyone has the right to be who they are, and no one should compel another person to behave in a specific way, as long as it does not unduly restrict others. Thus, every tourist is free not only to bring their customs and traditions with them during their stay in Switzerland, but also to live here much as they would at home. Every culture, every custom and every tradition is welcome, not merely tolerated, but actively accommodated. Everything is arranged in such a way that visitors can feel entirely themselves, for while they may not live here forever, Switzerland becomes their home for a while. This, once again, reflects the openness and tolerance of the Swiss, qualities from which travelers benefit wherever they go in the country. Because Switzerland has 4 linguistic regions, German, French, Italian and Romansh, there are slight differences in mentality and behavior. Yet these distinctions are so subtle that most travelers passing through will hardly notice them. Multilingualism itself is one of the reasons why Switzerland is so open-minded. All regions and their languages are regarded as equal, and people are accustomed to granting the same rights to everyone. Tourists benefit from this in a special way, especially when they find themselves in another part of the country where a different language is spoken. Switzerland offers travelers every form of freedom, and visitors can feel it everywhere they go. The way of life of the Swiss. The Swiss cherish their personal freedoms. They love to do and pursue whatever pleases them, but they are careful never to restrict the freedoms of others. Everyone adheres to a standard of behavior that ensures respect of those with different opinions. Other people's perspectives are never questioned. It is considered a fundamental freedom for everyone to think differently on various topics and areas of life. Great consideration is given to the personal freedom of others, and differing opinions are neither criticized nor challenged. Likewise, no one expects their own opinions to be questioned. This is regarded as cosmopolitan and open-minded. Tourists can therefore be confident that their entire personality is welcome in Switzerland. No one has to pretend to be someone else in order to travel here. Respect, courtesy and goodwill are extended to everyone. The Swiss often organize themselves into clubs or associations to engage in sports or to meet new people. In public they tend to be somewhat reserved, so as not to offend anyone. Swiss people also appreciate simplicity. They do not need a multi-course meal to feel satisfied. A simple, good quality meal is preferred over a complex, elaborate one. A piece of bread with butter and jam is enough to start the day. For travelers, however, there are a wide variety of restaurants offering cuisines and specialities from almost every country in the world. In terms of food and dining, Switzerland truly represents the entire world. Tour operations ensure that travel groups receive the meals they are accustomed to at home, so that they can feel completely at ease and comfortable during their stay. Switzerland represents the world in terms of both ethnic diversity and lifestyle, including dietary habits. Tourists can therefore find exactly what they need. Visitors do not have to prepare extensively for their trip. Especially in larger cities, they will find everything they could wish for to feel at home. Leisure and recreation. The Swiss are very active, lead healthy lifestyles and place the highest value on sustainable behavior. Resources are reused whenever possible, and people are frugal, fully aware that the production of energy, water and food often impacts the environment. Consequently, they strive to consume as little as possible. What is needed, however, is available in abundance and is produced using the most efficient technology, with minimal environmental impact. Electricity comes from a reliable combination of nuclear power, wind, hydro and solar energy. Travelers can be assured that all Swiss are committed to minimizing resource consumption and waste, so that future generations of visitors can continue to enjoy holidays in Switzerland. Great emphasis is placed on keeping materials in a closed loop, recycling any waste that is produced, and preventing the accumulation of toxins in the country's natural beauty. The Swiss way of life revolves around sustainability and frugality, never to be confused with stinginess, guided by a deep awareness of the effort required to produce food and energy. This mindset extends to everyday actions. For example, only the exact amount of water needed for a single cup of tea is boiled, not the full kettle, in order to minimize energy consumption. Meals are always finished completely to avoid generating food waste. Such practices reflect the Swiss commitment to efficiency and environmental responsibility, helping to preserve natural cycles so that generations of travelers can continue to enjoy this beautiful country. The Swiss take care to maintain their surroundings in a beautiful, clean and orderly way, as it has always been and as it is intended to remain, so that visitors from around the world experience joy when they come here for holidays. Swiss people spend much of their leisure time outdoors, in forests, fields or the mountains, hiking, jogging or cycling amidst the country's stunning landscapes. They seek to be close to nature, which provides fulfillment and happiness. Direct contact with the natural world makes life feel lighter and more harmonious. Travelers and tourists are often inspired by this lifestyle and follow the example of the locals, relaxing in parks, running through forests, swimming in pristine lakes, or simply sitting on a bench watching the world go by. All of these recreational activities are fully accessible to visitors, allowing them to experience the same joy and connection with nature that the Swiss treasure so deeply. Fountains in every village and town. One of the greatest advantages for travelers in Switzerland is the public water supply. Fresh drinking water is abundant. Every municipality, village and town is responsible for its own public water system. Clean, accessible water is considered a natural right in Switzerland, and people enjoy being able to access healthy drinking water from springs and groundwater wherever they go. Pure drinking water is the foundation for the proper functioning of any society. Without healthy water and food, a community cannot thrive or succeed. For this reason, every village has at least one public fountain, usually in front of the town hall or church, and larger villages often have several others. All of these fountains provide water suitable for drinking. If they do not, a clear sign in English indicates that the water is not potable. This system is not only practical for Swiss residents on the move, but it is also freely available to all travelers and tourists at any time. In earlier times, these public fountains were the only source of water for surrounding homes. Everyone had to draw water from the fountain and carry it back to their houses. In Switzerland, access to clean water has always been considered a natural, civic and human right. Every village had at least one fountain. And farms were only established where there was a natural water source and where wells could be constructed. Without clean water, neither people nor livestock could survive. This water was always free, just as nature itself provides it without any cost. Historically, it was customary to plant a linden tree near each fountain so that travelers from afar could easily see where to find a source of fresh, potable water. Even today, travelers and tourists from around the world benefit from this thoughtful tradition. Conversations with the Swiss. The Swiss are naturally thoughtful and always seek deeper truths. For this reason, they enjoy conversations with substance. They wish to experience the other person with all their senses, to understand them fully in all their dimensions, with their many facets, behaviors and character traits. At first, they may seem reserved, But once they sense that someone means well and is genuinely open, they bloom like flowers. They ask questions with curiosity, start to philosophize, and find the dialogue deeply enriching. Every statement made by the traveler is followed with great interest. The Swiss are particularly curious about how things work abroad. This comes from a time just 2 generations ago when many people rarely left their villages and had little opportunity to see the world. They were content with what they had, but information from distant places was highly valued. Travelers passing through were always a source of knowledge and experience, and the Swiss were eager to ask questions and learn from them. Even today, though the Swiss themselves often travel abroad, this trait remains deeply embedded within them. It may be hidden, but in authentic, in-depth conversations it resurfaces. They are genuinely fascinated by people from other cultures, by different ways of being, thinking, speaking and living. They love to hear stories from abroad, learn about important events and listen to experiences from afar. When speaking with the Swiss, it is therefore best not to focus only on the weather. While it constantly changes and nearly everyone carries an umbrella, for just in case, weather talk is hardly engaging. Instead, they prefer meaningful dialogue that offers insight into other ways of life and thought. Travelers who listened attentively will find themselves approaching the Swiss with more openness and sincerity on their first or next visit. They may pause here and there, strike up conversations with locals and discover firsthand much of what has been described. In doing so, they will travel through Switzerland with a heightened awareness and take home far richer memories and experiences than most other visitors.